Hi, and welcome to today's webinar about our brand new app, QualiWare Go. In a moment, Peter and Claus, they will take you through the app and show you the possibilities that comes with it and show you how to set it up. If you have any questions along the way, just pop them in the chat and we'll answer them along the way. So with that, over to you, Peter.
All right. All right, hope you can all see my screen. Okay, welcome to today's webinar, the QualiWare Go app. I'll be your host. I'm Peter, but I will get a little bit of help from my coworker Claus here as well. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, so the agenda for today is the first step is the repository in your pocket. This is a step which Claus will walk you through. Then I will build on that and tell you what a target asset identifier and an asset object list is, and how they will help you create an AI experience in this app, and we'll go through the QEF setup. These two steps are mainly for the architects in your company. Then we have the get started with the QualiWare Go app and using QualiWare Go. These steps are mainly for the users of the app. So if some of you haven't seen the introduction video of this app, I made a short video here to show you this app in action. All right, as you saw here, the app found a marker or a QR code. Some AI elements appeared on the screen, and through those AI elements, you could open the menu and sub-menu points. All right, first up, Claus.
Thank you, Peter. And this leads to the thinking about the repository in your pocket, because what you can do here is essentially to have a picture of something out there, QR code or the picture of the device. And that can link you to any object inside your QualiWare repository. So it's very flexible. It's from the QualiWare Go. You point to something, QR code or picture, and then you get the linked object in QualiWare to appear on your mobile app. The use cases are many. It's more or less up to your imagination. It could be something in your office. You could put a QR code to the wall and have people pointing to that. It could help you bring out some of your key things you would like to have in this moment. It could be in manufacturing, where you can go in and look at certain devices or parts of a device, and then you could get some information there. It could be in the outside environmental area, where you could point to things that is relevant. The key point is that you have some data in your repository that is linked to something out there, and this brings you very easily to this. That is the overall business case. The purpose of course many here. The next thing I would like to talk about is a little bit about the meta model that we have in our standard. What I did here in the background is a conceptual data model of the meta model, how it looks in the standard 1010. And some of the key information is in the top, the target, asset identifier, and the asset object list. This is where you link all together. Peter will come into this. Then this asset object list, that could be a hierarchy. Think about you have one piece of device, and you could then break that down into maybe 3 sub-levels. That can be done by having a hierarchy of the asset object list. Then if you walk down in the conceptual data parts in the middle, there's a number of diagrams you can link it to. So if this, whatever you point to, links to some processes or the manufacturing routing network, then you can bring that up. You have also documentation. External document you can add, which would bring more documentation to what you're pointing to. You have 3D points. That's the points I was talking about on the things you point to. And then there's because this is also thought about as something out in the environmental, in the manufacturing. You have safety aspects you can put to it. There's a sustainability issues and the IT support, which IT systems are in fact related to this, what you point to. And then pictures, also from the device where you will link the things together. That was essentially a fast dive into the meta model. As a QualiWare professionals, you know how to extend the meta model if this is not enough. But this is a rich set of standard where you can start identifying the objects you would like to point to and what content they are related to. And now I'll put the word back to Peter.
All right, thank you very much, Claus. All right, Claus mentioned the target asset identifier and the asset object list. These two templates which are relevant for this app and the AI experience. First, we have the target asset identifier, which will look like this if you're in the QLM. The target asset identifier contains of two important elements. First one being pictures. In here, you will preferably you will upload a QR code, which the app will scan, but regular images can be used as well. Then we have the relevant content, which is a number of asset object list, where you can add contents to this target asset identifier. So an asset object list in QLM will look like this. In the asset object list, there are some subfields where you can add content. There could be, for example, as Claus briefly mentioned, it could be diagrams in your QualiWare repository, links to external sites, videos, images, PDFs, text, to mention some examples. And you can also have other asset object lists inside an asset object list under the menu, 3D points. These are the points which will be AR points in the app, the ones you saw flew around on the screen, and we will see more of them later. All right, so for this first part with Claus and me, are there any questions?
Yes, there are two questions actually. The first one is for you, Claus. You mentioned safety. Are safety data sheets implemented in QualiWare for this?
I'm not sure about the safety objects, what's inside there, but I'm very sure that there's at least a description. And then if you want to link to some documents with some regulation, then you can do that. I'm not sure if it's our external document link, but in any case, you can use associated with. So yes.
Can asset code and picture both be used for the same item?
Asset code and pictures. All right, so in a target, there are two answers to this question. The first one is a target asset identifier, which is the parent object. In there, you can have QR codes or regular images. It could be any image you have taken of an object. You upload it to there, and the app will be able to recognize it. And the other place you can use images is inside the asset object list, where the image will be displayed in the menu when you will be displayed to the user in the menu in the app. Did I answer your question?
Perhaps there's a comment for you, Claus. Said safety data sheets are a standard thing in ISO. Need to have this.
Yeah.
So.
But then they can be loaded into the system.
Exactly. So I guess let's continue, and we'll pause later for more questions.
All right. That was it for the meta model. Let's go proceed. The next step is the QEF setup, where we go through how to set it up with so you can log in on the app using Azure. First, you will need to go to find your Azure client ID and your Azure tenant ID. you go to the Asia portal, and first you need to navigate to the app directory where you can find your tenant ID. Afterwards, you need to go to app registration and find the app registration which you use to log into QualiWare. There you have to find your client ID. Also inside Asia, you need a redirect URL. So under the same app registration, the one you use to log in to QualiWare, go to authentication, mobile and desktop application, and then add the comp.qualiware.ar//auth redirect URL there. That's the URL that tells Asia that it can return that you can be returned to the app. And lastly, you need a sign-in scope. There, under the app registration, you click Expose and the API. If you don't already have it, you need to add the sign-in scope, and otherwise you just need to copy it. And the sign-in scope should look like API-tenant ID-sign-in. When you have those information, you need to go to the QEF repository administrator. You go to Properties. In there, you need to put in the four keys: the Asia client ID, Asia issuer, the Asia redirect URL, and the Asia scopes. When you're putting them in, please use copy paste to ensure that the keys are correct. The Asia redirect URL will be removed from this step in the near future, but for now, please keep it. All right. Maybe that was a little bit fast, and of course there's all this is in the documentation on the COE, but if you have any questions, then please let me know now.
Yes, we have two more questions. This is to follow up on the last question. Can QR code and image be used simultaneously, or is it one or the other? Okay,
got it. Yeah, they can be used simultaneously. You can have several images in a target asset identifier. For example, let's say you want to use an image of you want to use a car as in images of a car. You need to take images from different angles of that car for the app to be able to recognize the car when the user stands at different angles. So yes, you can have several images simultaneously. And the last question here, does this work with VR headsets or only apps on tablet or phone? All right, you're tapping into my wild dream here. I hope at one point it will work with VR headset, but not right now. I'm sorry, but that is my dream. For the image, does color affect things? Yes. For image recognition, yes, there's a lot of factors that will affect whether the app can recognize the target asset identifier, the image or not. That could, for example, be lighting, color, or changes in the background. So we advise you to use QR codes, but yeah, normal images are also it's also possible to use other images, but they have to be very precise, because when you use an image of a car, the app doesn't just train on recognizing the car, it trains on recognizing the whole image. So let's say there's a tree behind the car, but now the car stands apart at a new parking lot without a tree behind it. Maybe the app will have a harder time recognizing that car. Okay. So, and let's take the last question for this round. Do linkable docs have to be imported into QualiWare, or can this point to SharePoint? Yes, as it can. The app can point towards like external URLs, but they need to be public. If it points to SharePoint, you will probably the app will open SharePoint in the browser, and you will need to log in on your phone. Okay.
This is completely standard. External documents we have many cases where that links to SharePoint, and it's exactly the conditions that Peter says.
All right, let's move on. Yes. All right, getting started with QualiWare Go. This is after you set up all the configuration in the QEF, and you want to start using the app. This is maybe a no-brainer, but yeah, you need to go download the app on either App Store or Play Store. Yeah, depending on your device. Then inside your QualiWare repository, you need to go to Asset Management and find the QualiWare Go Setup tile. There you need to click the QR code for QualiWare app. When you click that, an install widget, install wizard will be opened in your QualiWare repository. There you go to Setup. Please do not go to download because the QR codes there do not work right now, but I will have them fixed in a very fast, shortly. Sorry. Now, when you open the install widget in your QualiWare repository, then you open the QualiWare Go app on your device. You tap the settings icon on the upper right corner. In there you go. Then there will be a settings menu will be opened, and you can click Scan QR code. So with the QualiWare Go app, you need to scan this setup QR code. And when you scan it, all the configuration for your QualiWare repository, which is needed to log in using this app, will be imported in the app, and you press save, and you should be able to log in. You can use username or password, or Asia to log in, but we advise you to use Asia because there are some restrictions when you're using username and password. But this depends more on how you set up the security in your around your QualiWare repository. Now you're logged into your QualiWare Go and you want to start using it. First, you need to point the app at a marker. If you haven't guessed it already, a marker is a QR code or one of the images in your target asset identifier. When the app has found a marker or a target asset identifier, AR points will appear on the screen. Or you can tap this main QualiWare Go logo to open the main menu for this marker. You can tap any of the AR points to open submenus. And lastly here, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a log icon here. I added this log icon because some devices have some hardware or sensor limitations. So if you have one of those devices, you can stop live tracking by clicking this log icon, which will give you a better experience when using this app. Mainly, it's some Android devices. I haven't noticed any issues on iPhone, which really hurts my feelings because I'm an Android person. All right. Now, let's say we tap over the gauge submenu point or the AR point. We'll open this menu. In this menu, you will have some content displayed. The content is derived from the asset object list, where you have an architect responsible for adding content to it. In the menu, there's a keep button where you can keep this menu step for later if you need to. And then you have a new or edit button here, where you can either create new asset object list or change edit existing ones. This step is mainly for like users with Architect or Plus licenses. Now I will show you a short video of how to edit an AR point. And just like that, we have changed the position of the gauge AR point. Now here up in the left corner of the screen, you will see a burger icon. When you tap that, you can open the settings menu for the app. In here, we have in the settings menu, you have the button which refreshes the app. Again, this may be useful for devices with these hardware limitations I mentioned earlier. You also have a search function where you can search through target asset identifiers by using keywords. So that is if you need to find a target asset identifier, but you're not around the certain QR code. Then you can view save menu steps. As I just mentioned a minute ago, there's this keep button where you can keep menu points, menu steps, and in here in the saved, you can view them again. And then you can create a new target asset identifiers. Again, this is for architects and Plus license users. Lastly, we have the user configuration. All right, any questions now?
Yeah, there's another one here.
Yes.
Is there a recommended app for generating markers? There are many QR code generators available.
There's not one specific recommended QR code generator. Any QR code will should do the job. You know, any QR code generator should do the job because they all generates a similar quality of QR codes. So in any QR code generator should be fine. All right.
That's it.
Cool.
Oh, there's another one here.
Sorry. Oh.
Can you just a sec. Can you click on the arrow icon for various setting items? Are there sub items?
If I can click on the arrow icon
For the various setting items, are there sub items?
Sorry, I'm not quite understand this arrow icon.
It's this one here, isn't it? Go back to the previous slide.
Is this one?
Jeg tænker lidt ud i højre side, var det ikke det, du var på før? Læg dem, den der, læg dem her, hvor der ligesom kan være kommet ned under eller noget.
Okay, so are you referring to these gray arrows on the right side of the screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah, like all of these steps here are buttons, and the arrow just indicate that you will proceed to a new menu step. For example, if you press refresh, you will not move further into a menu or a sub-menu. The same with logout. So the arrows just means that you are moving one step further into the menu. I hope that is clear enough.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right, that's everything I prepared for today. I'm sorry if I spoke a little bit fast, but I do that when I'm excited. So to round up, Abigail will share this webinar and all the relevant links for you in an email tomorrow.
Yes,
and
I can also share some links here. Just a sec. There's some links for the setup guide, so you can get that one, the privacy. We got the release note, links for them, and also if you haven't watched our release webinar, 10 release webinar, there's also a link for that. But I'll send out an email tomorrow with the recording of this session as well. Okay, well,
right.
Thanks for joining us today, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have more questions later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.